Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Now, I'm holding up this box of the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic because I want to show you something that it illustrates. This, of course, is our Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, and this is the newest incarnation of it. But the title of it is Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, a pictorial synthesis of the three great pillars of magic. Now, those three great pillars that I'm talking about are all joined together by a common denominator, which is the Kabbalah. And you can see here, this is an example of a trump card, the Justice card. And it, of course, means Libra, okay? But the three great pillars of magic that I'm talking about are, number one, astrology. So this card is 0 to 10 degrees Cancer. It'd be the Two of Cups. And it's assigned the planet Venus in Cancer. It becomes the Two of Cups. So it is astrology, Goetia. There's two Goetic spirits or demons that are assigned to that same decant, which is assigned to that tarot card. And look at that. It's an Enochian square. That's the third great pillar of magic. Astrology, Goetia, Enochian. Here's an Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is the entire elemental tablet of air. Now, on the back, you'll find things that we're already familiar with. There's an example of the Holy Table. And here are the great seals. That's the one for air. That's the one for water. That's the one for earth. And that's the one for fire. Now, right in between the top one and the bottom one, we have a smaller square of only 20 Enochian squares. That is the Tablet of Union. Now, just for the symmetry of art, it looks good to have one down there too, but there's a very important magical reason why there's two of those. And if you'll look at the illustration that I posted just before today's talk, you'll see an example of the unreformed tablet and the black cross. And that black cross has two versions of the Tablet of Union making up that black cross. And we're going to talk about that in more detail this morning. And if Enochian magic is esoteric, this is the esoteric part of the esotericness. So I hope you'll stay awake through the whole thing. We're going to take 2 days on this chapter so as to not completely burn us out. But today's chapter is chapter 24, the Black Cross, Super Cherubs, Wicked Angels, Missing Symmetrical Characters, and the Tablet of Union. And in order to get that going, I'm going to need a shot of coffee. Hang on. The epigram comes from a working with the angel Ave, and we know Ave comes off of the Siglum Diameth, of June 25th, 1584. This is just days before the final Enochian workings of D and Kelley. That shall make the cross that bindeth the four angles of the table together. The same that stretcheth from left to right must also stretch from right to left. I stated earlier that I've been unable to find in the surviving D and Kelley material any overt references to the four watchtowers as being elemental tablets of fire, water, air, and earth. However, the communicating angels gave every indication that the dynamics and hierarchical structure of the Great Table were at least in part elemental in nature. In the communication of Monday, June 25th, 1584, the angel Ave speaks to the virtues of the table. Quote, first, generally, this table containeth all human knowledge. 2, out of it springeth physic. 3, and I don't think they're talking about a laxative here. I think the word in those days meant all things physical. Number 3, the knowledge of all elemental creatures amongst you, how many kinds there are, and for what use they were created. Those that live in the air by themselves, those that live in the waters by themselves, those that dwell in the earth by themselves. The property of the fire, which is the secret life of all things. Number 4, the knowledge of finding and the use of metal, the virtues of them, and the congealations and virtues of stones. And those are all wrapped together and treated as one matter. Number 5, the conjoining and knitting together of nature, the distraction of nature and of things may perish. That's how it's worded. Moving from place to place, as into this country or to that country at pleasure. 7, the knowledge of all crafts mechanical, and the Latin for the words superficial, though not essential, transmutation. Unquote. If we look at the 4 quarters of the Great Table as being the elemental tablets of air, water, earth, and fire, the black cross that separates and joins the tablets would then obviously represent spirit, the quintessential force that binds the 4 elements together in infinite quantities and ratios to create and sustain the universe, while at the same time keeping the elements separated, just enough to retain their identities. This push-pull, active-passive nature is a defining characteristic of spirit. And magicians know that there are 2 kinds of spirit pentagrams, an active one and a passive one. And there's a banishing and an invoking of each of those too. As I mentioned earlier, this characteristic is illustrated, as every good ceremonial magician knows, by the dynamics of the pentagram, which allow 2 types of spirit pentagram, one active and one passive, like Lon said. The black cross contains 40 letters that radiate from the central blank square. When we read from top of the column toward the center, now you'll probably want to refer to that diagram that I posted just below this video. When we read from the top of the column toward the center, we find the curiously spaced and inconsistently capitalized letters EXARP and HCOMA. When we start at the center of the square of the black cross and read to the right, we find the letters NANTA and BITOM. We can find identical sets of letter if we read from the bottom of the column toward the center and from the center of the row to the left. In other words, the black cross contains mirror images of the letter groups Exharp, Hakama, Nanta, and Batum, a phenomenon curiously reflective of the dual nature of spirit. Spirit is coming and going all the time. During this same June 25th session, Ave would, in remarkably few words, explain the letters of the Black Cross, answer questions concerning the three missing symmetrical characters of the 10th Aether, Lexharp, Komanan, and Tabatom, the 28th, 29th, and 30th parts of the earth. And we'll see chapter 18 for that to make any sense at all, which is the figure 13, 63. And demonstrate how those three names construct the master table, the tablet of union, which appears to rule the whole great table. But before discussing all of that, and it'll truly make more sense when we do discuss all of that, we have a small bit of unfinished business to clean up from the last chapter. I am, of course, talking about the super cherubs and the wicked angels. Under the heading super cherubs, or gods of the cherubs. And here's where I told you it was going to get esoteric on top of the esoteric, unfolding into esotericism. But hold on, it'll be painless. It is my opinion, and I'm sure many will disagree, that there are two hierarchies of angels existing simultaneously in each subangle. The first hierarchy simply begins, well, hang on for a second while I was trying to show you a subangle. I'm talking about something like that, okay? And the cherub is this guy right here on top of the arms of the cross. That's the cherub, okay? And under the arms of the cross are four other ones that we call servitors. 1, 2, 3, 4 servitors. Let's see. The first hierarchy. Now I said there's two hierarchies existing simultaneously. The first hierarchy simply begins with the two God names of the Calvary cross. Okay, that's the cross. The vertical one conjures the horizontal one, so it's a dual God name thing. The first hierarchy simply begins with the two God names of the Calvary cross, who are invoked before calling upon the four servient angels whose names appear beneath the arms of the cross. In this schema, all the names of the angels in the hierarchy are drawn neatly and exclusively from within the subangle itself. The cherub, in this case, plays no role at all. The second hierarchy, however, I believe does not use the two God names of the Calvary cross at all. Nor does it necessarily concern itself with the servient angels. Instead, it places a new character, a super cherub, or a cherubic god, above a group of angels whose names are drawn exclusively from the 4 letters from above the arms of the cross. Figure 82 is a version of the original unreformed table, that's the one I've posted, that I've highlighted to hopefully make all this clear. I realize it may sound crazy for us to bounce back and forth using the unreformed table when locating these angels, but it is the unreformed table the angels used in 1584 when this information was received. For the moment, please ignore the circled backwards letters on the diagram. The letters of the Black Cross are the key to creating the cherubic gods. Note how 4 of the letters in the columns are isolated from the others. Or in the column, we're talking about the Black Cross column now here, okay? The letters of the Black Cross are the key to creating the cherubic gods. Note how the 4 letters in the column are isolated from the others that appear neatly in groups of 4. Reading from the top toward the center, the E of X-harp and the H of Hakama are isolated. Reading from the bottom toward the center of the P of X-harp and of the A of Hakama are also isolated. Note that these 4 isolated letters appear in the same rows as the cherubs who live above the arms of the Calvary crosses of all 16 subangles. To determine the name of the subangle's cherubic god, simply insert the isolated letter that appears on the same row as the cherub's name at the beginning of the cherub's 4-letter names. For example, the cherub of fire, the cherub of the fire subangle of the fire tablet, Ziza, would be transformed into a super cherub, P-Ziza. Instead of ruling the servient angels, this super P-Ziza directly rules 4 angels whose names are created by the permutation of the cherub's own name. Ziza, Iza, excuse me. So here's a permutation of Ziza's name. Ziza, Izaz, Zazi, and Aziz. A table containing all of the cherubic gods and their cherubs can be found in Appendix 6. The important thing is to remember that in this system there are 2 hierarchies of angels in each of the 16 subangles. One hierarchy that simply uses the god names of the Calvary cross to summon or contact the servient angels living under the arms of the cross, and one hierarchy that selects a letter from the Black Cross outside the elemental tablet and adds it to the cherub's name to create a cherubic god who rules 4 cherubs whose names are created by the permutation of the regular cherub's own name. When to use one hierarchy and not another in a magical operation remains a subject of debate among modern magicians. One thing is certain: the more the magician understands about the nature and dynamics of the Great Table, the more he or she will be able to devise a logical and workable mode. So let's discover one more wonder of the Black Cross. Let's start with something we haven't encountered before in Enochian magic: wicked spirits. Let's see. I think I can't leave you hanging on the wicked spirits, so I'm going to, let's just dive right in. It's only a few minutes here. The letters of the Black Cross are also key to creating the names of 4 wicked or evil or malevolent angels in each subangle. Up to now, we've been dealing with the angels whose names are representative of complete and balanced segments of the Great Table and its elemental tablets. But during the June 25th session, as the angel Ave was expounding on the virtues of the Black Cross, he also introduced Dee and Kelley to a set of angels that are not complete and not balanced. Angels he referred to as being wicked. These malevolent angels manifest adversely the powers of their good angel subangle neighbors. For example, if the good angels are useful for healing, the wicked angels bring sickness and affliction. See Appendix 4. But some of the wicked angel duties seem rather tempting and are said to be useful for obtaining money and for gambling. Kelley initially got pretty excited about this and was very disappointed when Ave, in no uncertain terms, told him, "Hands off, evil angels." Now, why Ave would give the details of these critters and turn around and tell the magicians not to use them remains a mystery. Or does it? The name of an evil angel is a portrait of incompleteness and imbalance, supercharged, with an injection of the immense power of the Black Cross, a dangerous recipe if ever there was one. Creating it, however, is very simple. Here's how to do it. Remember how we created the name of a cherubic god by prefacing the name of a regular cherub with the letter from the Black Cross occupying the same row? Well, that's almost exactly what we do to create the name of a wicked angel. However, instead of prefacing the 4 letters of the cherub's name, we preface only the first 2 letters of the servient angel's name with its neighboring letter from the Black Cross. This 3-letter supercharged perversion of the first half of a servient angel's name is a wicked angel. Figure 83 in the book, which I believe that's it right there, is the air, or the upper left subangle, of the elemental tablet of Earth. No, that's not it, is it? No. Let's see. Figure 83 is the air, upper left subangle of the elemental tablet of Earth, the upper right elemental tablet of the unreformed Great Table, with the adjoining Black Cross letters. The 4 evil angels of this subangles are XAI, AOR, RRS, and PIZ. And how does one, if one were inclined, call forth these evil angels? Who are their hierarchical rulers? One might expect the averse god names that call forth the evil angels are the names on the Calvary cross spelled backwards. In the case of our example, they are IOPGNA and XANGA. N-U. You can easily work out the names of the other angels, evil angels, and their rulers by referring to figure 82 or by consulting the table in Appendix 4. Okay, tomorrow we will get out of all of this evil and discuss this Master Governor Paraoan, and discuss the 3 missing symmetrical characters, and have our first real introduction and discussion of the Tablet of Union. Now, if you are interested in a more in-depth introduction in a workshop mode, I believe there are 4 workshops, each 90 minutes or longer, that I did on Zoom a couple of months ago. They are available. The workshop is available for you to download and attend at your convenience. I will post how you can do that. There is a fee for it, but it was done with the help of the folks at Magical Egypt, so it's a commodity too. So, but I will post the links to that and all of my Zoom workshops in just a few minutes on my website here, and you can go to it and see which ones you would like to register for and attend. It won't be the live one, but they were recorded. They were completely recorded. Anyway, there we go. And tomorrow, I believe it will be just a little bit less demanding on your esoteric patience. But I hope you'll be with me tomorrow. Until then, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. Bye.